Presented by Honda at the Model Clearout event. It's the best time to team up with a Honda you'll love.
Welcome to Rogers Center. It is a nice Labor Day evening. The roof has been open only about a half hour as there were thunderstorms in the area, but it's a cool evening, 24 degrees. Tampa Bay is in town. That's not good news for the Blue Jays. Tampa Bay has owned the Jays this year. They're 7-2 under Kevin Cash this season against the Blue Jays. Let's take a look at the lineup for Kevin Cash's Rays. They're not scoring a lot of runs, but they're making it hold up. They're 10 games over 500. Tommy Pham, whom they picked up from St. Louis, has an 8-game hit streak. He was on a DL for a while with a fractured foot, but he is really swinging the bat well lately. And how about their super player, Joey Wendell? He's playing all over the diamond and playing very well. He too has an 8-game hit streak, 14 for his last 36. Wendell is at shortstop tonight.
What a bunch of pesky hitters the Tampa Bay Rays will throw up there. So Marcus Stroman will make his 19th start of the season. First one being activated off the 10-day disabled list today. He's been pitching with that blister that everybody knows about. He's trying to pitch through it, and we got to get him a win. He hasn't won since July the 27th. That's when the Blue Jays were in Chicago to face the White Sox. He pitched into the 7th inning there. He's had success in the past. He's got a winning record against Tampa Bay in 12 starts. They're hitting .269 against Marcus in those 12 starts, so he gets a shot at him to open up this series.
So Stroman is set. Malik Smith has just been activated off the roster. He was dealing with a viral infection. The leadoff man will step in the box. Smith was swinging the bat very well before he was knocked out by that infection. Stroman looks in for the sign from Luke Maile. Here's the first pitch of the game. It is in there for a strike, and we are underway. 24 degrees on this Labor Day Monday night. Toronto won the series in Miami against the Marlins, taking 2 of 3. Ground ball to the shortstop. Diaz has it near the bag at second, 1 away. Take a look at the rest of the defense. With Stroman on the mound, you anticipate a lot of balls on the ground in the outfield. Hernandez, Pilar, and McKinney. Luke Maile had a great game yesterday.
Yeah, that's
behind the plate.
I'd like to highlight him. He called a great game with Sean Reed-Foley. He also chipped in with 3 doubles in the game, but did a great job of using that rookie and getting him through the innings that he had in yesterday's game. Very thoughtful, understands what pitchers can do, their strengths, and he finds weaknesses in those batters.
This is Matt Duffy who goes after the first pitch. Duffy's 2 for 7 going up against Marcus Stroman. For the season, he's hitting .297. He doesn't have your prototypical third base numbers, but they really like the way he plays. He is a good piece of this ball club.
Yeah, he uses the whole field when he hits, and like a lot of the hitters, they don't have a lot of power in this lineup, but they don't strike out like they did last year. They had all kind of strikeouts, and they hit their share of home runs. It's a different type of offense. Chad Mottola is the hitting coach, and he really stresses trying to hit the ball back through the middle and be a tough out, and that's what they have.
Stroman's ahead 0-2. Fastball upstairs too high. Marcus, as we mentioned, has not pitched since the 17th of August. Pat mentioned he has a 5-4 record in 12 starts against Tampa Bay. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball down in the dirt. It's 2-2.
We will keep an eye on Marcus on the mound. Everybody knows about the blister issues that he's had, but he's 100%. The skin area that was really ripped off has grown back. He's done a lot of training to keep that area nice and hard, and says he's okay.
Fastball past Smoke into right field for a base hit. So Duffy comes back from an 0-2 count and gets a 1-out single to right. We spoke at length with Nicky Huffman about the blister. Stroman has that blister. It's on the flat part of his middle finger. And Nicky said they've done all sorts of things to try to help promote the healing, and they're pretty confident that healing process is 100% complete.
And she stressed that was the main thing, that you have to get it healed and grow over. And they can put some things on there like zinc oxide that they will put on there to help that area heal a lot faster. then you have to go about trying to keep the area hard, where you can almost get a callus over that, and that should end that problem.
Some of the factors that go into creating that friction blister: humidity, heat, the friction from the baseball transferred to that middle finger. All of those things you try to keep to a minimum if possible. Of course, you have no control over the humidity.
Moisture also. If there's moisture from your sweat or whatever it costs, that can really start that hot spot to start over again.
Ji-Man Choi batting third in this lineup tonight. Choi, with his time between Milwaukee and Tampa Bay, has hit .272. He was traded to Milwaukee on June 10th, or excuse me, from Milwaukee on June 10th. There's strike two. Choi has spent time with the Angels, the Yankees, the Brewers, and now the Rays, parts of 3 different seasons.
Swinging the bat much better of late. And runner at first base and 1 out with Marcus Stroman, you always have that possibility of a ground ball. Get out of the inning.
Marcus, of course, has always been able to get those ground balls. He ranks first among major league pitchers over the last 2 seasons, getting ground balls at a rate of 63%. Two and two. Duffy at first. Now it's a full count.
The team, the Tampa Bay Rays, they like to run. They've got 98 stolen bases. It's a team, when we talk about them being pesky hitters, they're also very pesky on the bases. Kevin Cash will start the runners a lot, trying to stay out of double play.
The Rays have won back-to-back games in 11 of their last 13 games, going back to August 19th. Duffy's at first. There he goes. Cut on and bounced toward the mound. Stroman looks at second. He has no play there. He'll take the out at first. So Kevin Cash starts the runner. That keeps the Rays out of a possible double play as Duffy moves to second.
Marcus had some thoughts of possibly getting that lead runner, but he thought better of it, get the out. This is his last start 17 days ago. It was in New York. He just didn't have the command that we have seen in the past. And as a pitcher, you know, you get that feeling in your finger and you just start to throw the ball. You just want it to feel good. He just couldn't find that spot. Fastball, cutter, slider, and a little changeup. But he couldn't find that release point. He couldn't get that feel where he felt okay. And he did the right thing coming out of that game after 4 innings.
Tommy Pham, the cleanup hitter. There's a base hit up the middle. Duffy's around third. He's going to come in to score. Tommy Pham, we mentioned, he's swinging the bat well. He'll extend his hit streak to 9 in a row, driving in the first run of this ball game.
And this is what the Rays do. They had a runner at first base and 1 out. Kevin Cash starts the runner to stay out of the double play, gets a runner into scoring position, and just like that, sinker. Tommy Pham, a hot hitter, bangs it right back through the middle for the game's first run.
It's a simple approach by Pham, trying to cash in with that runner at second, and he does. The RBI for Pham, his 50th of the season. His 9th since coming to Tampa Bay. This is Joey Wendell, the rookie. He too, like Pham, came into this game with an 8-game hit streak. Oh, 1-1. 0-2. Another breaking ball in there for a strike.
This is when they start to grind right here. We saw that from the Miami Marlins over the weekend. They got, I don't know, maybe 8 or 9 2-strike hits in that 3-game series. So once you have them down like this, you got to put them away.
Inside, he missed with the fastball. Another thing that factors into the possibility of a blister is a high pitch count. Throw a lot of pitches in the specific inning, and that'll continue to build up the friction on that middle finger. 1-2, 2 away. There's a base hit to right. Pham takes a look over his shoulder. He will stop. After rounding, they got a shot at him, and they get him. Oh, what a nice play by Diaz. Tampa Bay will probably have a look at this on video. But Billy McKinney did a good job of hitting that cutoff man who was hanging out near the base at second, and Diaz made a heads-up play.
It's called floating. If you are the cutoff man, Diaz, you get yourself into cutoff position, and then you float depending on where the throw goes. And Diaz floated back to the bag, caught it. Is he there in time? The umpire says no, but the Tampa Bay Rays look like they want to look at it. I thought Pham was going to go to third, play first and third. McKinney comes up firing, and Tampa Bay wants to look at it.
For Billy McKinney, if the play stands, it'll be his first big league outfield assist. Pham looked really indecisive as he was going around the base. He didn't know much about Billy McKinney, and he was in between, and Diaz did a nice job. He was hanging out near the bag and made a heads-up play.
Yeah, he floated into cutoff position, and then read that the throw was coming to second base, hustled back there. The tag looks high from that shot that Pham might have got the foot in on the base there, and there's the tag, so they might overturn this one.
So 3 hits in the inning for Tampa Bay, a run in. The crew chief is Brian O'Nora. He is at third base. Ramon De Jesus made the call, the second base umpire. Billy McKinney, he has done nothing but impress in his limited time with the Blue Jays. This is his 14th game. He's impressed in the field. He's impressed at the plate.
And he wants that first outfield assist.
Well, I tell you what, the base didn't react as if Pham hit the base before the tag. That was interesting. And obviously, the call on the field, there has to be clear and conclusive evidence that the call on the field wasn't correct before they overturn it. I don't know if they can overturn this one.
You don't think there's enough evidence?
It was hard to tell exactly when that tag was applied and when the foot made contact with the base. Watch the base and see when it gives. Not until there. So there wasn't any contact until right about the time Diaz put the tag on Pham. Both of these guys were teammates last year in St. Louis. Oh, they reversed it. So Brian O'Nora, the crew chief, calls Pham safe. The ruling on the field is overturned. Tampa Bay will have their challenge. And Billy McKinney still doesn't have a big league outfield assist.
Take it away. But you have to be impressed with McKinney, both offensively, defensively, running the bases. He almost came up with it there. Got to play good team defense.
So now with 2 on and 2 outs, Brandon Lau, the second baseman, will bat. Pitch off the plate, misses. 19 games this season, he's hit .263.
Look at that on-base percentage at .382. And a nice slugging percentage. That's an .850 OPS.
Ground ball, Smoke has it. He'll go to the bag and beat Lau there, but Tampa Bay breaks out on top. They score a run on 3 singles and take an early 1-0 lead. but the Tampa Bay Rays challenged the call on the field, and it was overturned. But he will lead things off for the Blue Jays. Take a look at the Jays, who are 62 and 74. They had a 2-4 road trip. McKinney, over his last 10 games, hitting .382 with 8 extra base hits. And down in the third spot in the order, Justin Smoke has homered in 4 straight games. He's 5 for 13 with those 4 home runs and 9 RBIs, trying to make it 5 in a row here tonight.
They will face the starter tonight, Ryan Stanek. Stanek last pitched in relief on Friday at Cleveland. His last start was last Tuesday. That was at Atlanta. He threw 23 pitches in that 1 inning of work last Friday in Cleveland. He's made 22 starts, all of them since May the 26th versus Baltimore.
This is the 41st time the Rays have used an opener, if you will. You can see the shift they have employed against Billy McKinney. They did not start using the opener until May 19th. They had an opening day starting rotation of Chris Archer, Blake Snell, Nathan Eovaldi, and Jake Faria. Archer and Eovaldi have been traded.
Injuries, part of the reason why they're doing that, and it's very interesting the way that they have pieced this together. The Blue Jays have seen Stanek before. In fact, they saw him in back-to-back days back here in August the 11th. He started a game, and then he came in relief the following day and got 2 outs.
McKinney hits a fly ball, but that's going to reach the seats out of play.
They also saw him at Tropicana Field back in June, where he pitched 2 innings. He started that game through 2 innings, had 3 strikeouts, 6 up, 6 down. Big fastball in a splitter. You can see that split grip that he's holding right there as he sets it into his glove so he doesn't give away the pitch when he gets ready to throw it.
Yeah, he's certainly built like a closer, isn't he? Big, strong guy with a big arm. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the leadoff man, Billy McKinney. Foul tip, he stays alive. Obviously, the opener, he pitches the first inning, and Stanek has done a nice job for the team. The Rays lead the American League in first inning ERA.
Well, there you go, with a .318 over the American League. And what you can do is you say, hey, just give me everything you have for an inning. And we can set the matchups that we need to. If you match up, let's say you have 3 right-handed hitters coming up, why don't you start a right-hander for 3 innings? Now, if it's quick, if you have a quick inning, maybe you can get through another inning and shorten the game that way. Normally they use these, quote, openers for 3 to 9 batters, whatever works. And it depends on pitch counts and matchups for them.
McKinney's having a very good at bat. It's another piece of this one, and it dribbles foul. Picked up by the catcher, Nick Schufo, who is making his major league debut. He actually becomes the 12th rookie to make his debut for Tampa Bay this season. 21st rookie.
That's
all season long.
That's a single season record for the Rays. 11 players to make their major league debut this year.
And McKinney strikes out after a long at bat, 1 away. Let's take a look at the rest of the defense behind Stanek. Tommy Pham's in left, Malik Smith's in center, and Gold Glover is in center, Kevin Kiermaier.
Yeah, and you want to pitch and you want to play defense, you better have a good center fielder, and he's a good one. But Kevin's only been able to play in 71 games this year. He's been battling some back problems. Came out of the game Saturday in Cleveland, did not play yesterday. He was hoping to get into the lineup, feel better, and he did. He was telling us today at batting practice that the back, he feels it, but it's good enough to play.
Lourdes Gurriel Jr. tonight playing second base. Takes the first pitch strike from Stanek. Gurriel just 4 for 22 on the road trip. He drove in a couple of runs. Slider in the dirt, 1-1. Gurriel, of course, had a 12-game hit streak. He also had a 12-game multi-hit streak at the end of July prior to getting hurt there in Chicago.
So it's going to take him some time, I think, to get the timing back. Blue Jays are hitting him at the top of the lineup. What this opener, if you will, does, it makes it tough for the top part of the lineup, and that's where you usually put your best hitters, at the top part of the lineup, and you might face your first 3 times up 3 different pitchers.
1-2. Fastball hit on the ground. Wendell has it, crossed the diamond in time. 2 up, 2 down. Wendell has played all over the diamond for the Rays, making just his 3rd start at shortstop. He's played 76 games at second, 8 at third, and 13 in left field. He's
Baseball.
the epitome of a utility player.
Baseball player. He made some plays yesterday in Cleveland. They beat the Indians yesterday. He was playing third base. They must have been 3 or 4 web gems that were incredible at third base. Tonight he plays shortstop.
Here is Justin Smoak, who's homered in 4 straight games with an at-bat. He came into a game defensively down in Miami, but did not get an AB. He's 5 for 13 over his last 4 games. Pulls this one foul.
Just get ready to hit that fastball, because you're going to get a fastball from Ryan Stanek. It's an upper 90s fastball with a split. I think they threw the splitter to get McKinney for his first strikeout.
Another splitter, that one in the dirt at 88 miles an hour. Smoak has hit 23 home runs this season. Just 9 of them have come here at Rogers Center. Kind of a surprising number.
Blue Jays have all 3 of their catchers in the lineup tonight.
There's another splitter that sails away. Maley's back behind the plate. Danny Jansen's the DH for the first time in his career. Gus Martin is playing third. 3 pretty good athletes.
Yeah. Of course, that's come from a former catcher talking about the catchers.
Oh, I could never do what they're doing. Here's the 3-1 to Smoak. Popped up down the left field line, going into foul territory. Long run for Duffy. He gets there and makes the catch. So a quick inning for Ryan Stanek, the opener. Smoak pops out to end the inning. Tampa Bay leads it 1-0 after 1.
Since August 17th, after a blister on that right middle finger opened up on him in that rain-shortened loss to the New York Yankees. And afterwards, Stroman posted this photograph on social media to give everybody an idea of what he had been dealing with. Now, sadly, blisters are nothing new for Stroman. He did a pretty good job of managing one last season. And between the shoulder fatigue and the blister this season, Stroman said the blister has been the toughest to deal with because, quote, it's out of my control. What he could control, his recovery. Stroman used treatments and topical creams to first heal the skin, as Tabby mentioned, then other techniques to toughen the skin to prepare it for the friction of pitching. Nikki Huffman told me that Stroman did a great job of taking care of that finger. Compared to that picture, Buck, Huffman said if you look at his finger today, you can't even tell a blister ever existed.
Yeah, it was a great job by Marcus and the training staff to get that finger healed up. He actually left a great outing back on the 7th of August. He pitched 7 innings, allowed 1 run on 2 hits against Boston, but had to leave. He went out to start the 8th and just couldn't pitch any longer with that blister on his finger. So he's been dealing with it for a while.
It hurts on certain pitches. The two-seamer, he was saying, he can really feel it when he tries to throw that two-seam sinker. So he can do a couple of things. He said he'll take the ball and he'll rotate it a little bit and throw a no-seam sinker. I'm sure it's not the same type of sinker that he has when he can grab the seams, but it's better that he does that as that ball's right off the shin of Kiermaier. But as long as he can get out there and pitch and not think about it, that's the worst thing. When pitchers get ready to throw the ball and they're like, is there going to be pain on this pitch? That's when you start changing things up, and you don't want that.
That's a base hit for Kiermaier. Could be extra bases. He's got some speed. He's around first, headed for second. He's going to head for third. Here's the throw from Gurriel. A strong throw, but not in time. Kevin Kiermaier picks up his 7th triple of the season as he leads off the top of the 2nd. Kiermaier can absolutely fly around the bases.
Yeah, once he gets it going, I mean, he looks like a sprinter in track. He's been dealing with some back problems, and he says when I slide or when I swing too hard, that's when it really hurts. But watch when he gets it going. Cuts that corner, doesn't even have to look at the base, and he was thinking 3 as soon as this ball got by Justin Smoke, the first baseman, and he makes it really easily to third base.
For Kiermaier, that's his 7th triple. For the Rays, that's their 31st triple. Second only to the Chicago White Sox, who have 37. Boy, speed is such an important factor on a baseball team. It puts so much pressure on the defense, on the pitchers from the set position. But he's in scoring position just like that. Jake Bauers, the first baseman. He takes a strike. It's 1-1.
There's that sinker at 92 miles an hour. He's trying to get him to roll over or tap it back to the mound. The infield is back except Martin at third base. So Kiermaier's got to read the ball off the bat.
Bauers is really battling a slump lately. He's 1 for his last 21 and 4 for his last 58. Had a double on Saturday at Cleveland in the 5th inning. That snapped it 0 for 16.
We saw him for the first time in June when he got called up, and he looked like Superman. He was hitting everything and catching everything that the Blue Jays hit at him down at first base.
Breaking ball. He gets a piece of it to stay alive. This part of the order, Stroman has a chance to pitch around that leadoff triple. Bauers with his struggles of late, and then Nick Schufo making his major league debut. Just called up. He's a 6th-year pro playing in his first big league game tonight. On the ground, foul. Kiermaier was breaking on contact.
Yeah, he's trying to read it. I'm sure he's been told anything in the middle of the diamond, second base or shortstop, go ahead and go. To the corners, you're going to have to read. I think anything to Russell Martin, he's got to stay. But a slow roller to Justin Smoke over at first, because he's back, he can read that, and with his speed, he should be able to beat it.
I think he'll go any ball to hit to Smoke because Smokey's deep, and that's a long throw home. 1-2. Nice block by Luke. Maile squared it up and keeps the ball right there at home plate.
Luke playing against his former organization, Tampa Bay. You know, he wants to do something special. That's a curveball. There you go. Cover up that between your legs. Let that ball bounce off your chest protector. Textbook.
Luke played 2 seasons with Tampa Bay. Here's the choo-choo pitch. Cut on and missed. Maley will look Kiermaier back at third and go to first. Good play by Maley. First he blocked the slider, and then he looked the runner back at third and threw to first to complete the strikeout.
And then he took 2 quick steps to home just in case Kiermaier was going to come on the throw. He does a good job behind the plate. Here's all the action. Kiermaier always a threat. You never know. Look at it. He's watching, he's waiting, and then there's Luke 1-2 quick steps to get back. He knows all about Kevin Kiermaier.
Nick Schufo, the catcher, making his first big league start, gets his first big league at bat with Kiermaier at first. Now the infield is drawn in with 1 out. Schufo hit .258 in the minor leagues this year, 11 doubles, 5 homers, and 28 driven in.
They had a catcher just go on the disabled list a couple of days ago, Michael Perez, who we saw the last time the team was here a couple of weeks ago. Perez was pretty impressive.
0-1. Right to smoke. Kiermaier's coming. They've got him hung up. Give him the ball. Kiermaier is safe. Maley took too long to get the ball back to Martin. So all hands are safe. It'll be a fielder's choice. And Kiermaier dives back in safely at third.
You were just talking about speed and how disruptive it can be. Kiermaier, he's going to try and score on contact, but then recognizes a strong throw. And because of that short crow hop right there, that's just enough time. That type of speed helps him to get back. He puts the brakes on and then hustles back, and he's safe.
Well, he's a good player. He can do a lot of things to help you win a ball game. Now back to the top of the order. Tough man to double up in Alex Smith. Great illustration of how speed can give you an advantage to manufacture runs.
Yeah, leadoff triple. Now they're trying to score that run, and he got himself into a pickle, but fast enough to get out of it. Now you've got some more speed at the plate.
Smith bunts it. Tampa Bay known for that first and third bunt. And he tried to be a little too fine with it.
Yeah, that looked more like he was bunting for a hit instead of the safety squeeze. Normally when you have that, you want to bunt it to the first baseman because he's got to hold that runner on. He was trying to bunt that ball to the third baseman.
But everything was choreographed there because the runner at first took a couple of steps as if he were running, just to create more movement on the infield. He was not running, but he gave you the thought that he might be moving. Outside, 2 balls and a strike.
Alex Smith has really come into his own this year. He's getting some consistent playing time. He was hitting at the beginning of this season down in the order and started to get hot. Kevin Cash moved him up, and now he is their leadoff hitter. And he is a disruptive type of player from that leadoff position.
Good breaking ball there, and Smith swings right through it. Alex Smith took advantage of the injury to Kevin Kiermaier, and he got regular playing time in center. And because of those regular ABs, he started to gain confidence with the bat, and things took off for him. Kiermaier returns, and Alex Smith has moved back to right. Smith played 53 games in center field in Kiermaier's absence. 2-2 now, 1 out. Double play will get Stroman out of this. Ground ball off the glove of Stroman. Smith is safe at first, and all hands are safe. Stroman's a terrific fielder, a Gold Glove winner, and that was the ball he was hoping to get, a comebacker to the mound. It goes off of his glove, and Kiermaier comes in to score.
It would have been quick. They would have to have turned that catch and throw right away. You can see Diaz shading him up the middle. This one was going right over the bag. If he catches that, fires, maybe they have a shot, but all hands are going to be safe.
It's a base hit for Smith. He'll pick up an RBI. Stroman makes a good play, but Smith just legs it up. So that leadoff triple ultimately cashed in by the leadoff hitter, Mallex Smith. Matt Duffy had a 2-strike base hit his first time up. He singled to right, came around to score. Still just one out. There's a drive to the alley in left field. This ball is going to go over Hernandez, and one run is in. Chufo comes in right behind him. Mallex Smith comes in to score. Matt Duffy is 2 for 2, and he has a 2-run double.
Ball looked like it had a chance of bouncing out of here, but it stays in the yard. That allows Mallex Smith to circle the bases. Matt Duffy putting on a show. Those are his first 2 hits in this ballpark in his career. He hasn't been around that long, but his first 2 hits. This is a big one. Sinker, stays over the middle of the plate, and he puts a charge into this one in the left center field for 2 more runs.
Duffy hits it in the alley past Teoscar Hernandez up against the wall in left center. The double is the 20th double of the season for Duffy. He chases home 2 more Rays. It's a 3-run inning, and they take a 4-0 lead. Fernandez loosening up, first up for the Blue Jays. Fernandez made his debut on Saturday against the Marlins, and he had a good inning. G-Man Choi grounded out in the first inning.
You can see how pesky this team is. Already in this inning, they have a single, a double, and a triple. They hit the ball all over the place wherever it's pitched. Last season, this team had so many strikeouts. You can get into these situations and then end the inning with strikeouts. This season, though, boy, Chapman told us done a good job.
Ball in the dirt. We're starting to see the shift back to acknowledging that strikeouts are an empty at bat. Boston has utilized that philosophy. Nothing happens when you strike out.
There are 7 teams in the American League with a positive run differential. Tampa Bay is one of them. Of course, Houston leads at plus 224. Tampa Bay's got a positive plus 37 run differential. Beginning of the season, I wouldn't have said that. It's a team that really struggled early on, but they found themselves right in the middle of May.
When they have been a good team, they were always good at run prevention. And that's what they've done again this season. They always had real strong pitching staffs and a very athletic defense, so they were able to win ball games without scoring a lot of runs. Then they shifted gears and decided they want to hit home runs. Well, with home runs comes strikeouts. And they didn't have the defense because they had sluggers in the lineup.
They had shortstops making 30 errors a season. You could make pitches. You didn't even have to make good pitches and you can get strikeouts. They totally changed their team from last year. Steven Souza was traded. Logan Morrison left. Evan Longoria, that's a different story. Chirinos is going to follow Stanek. You're just not sure when.
Yeah, he didn't look like he's getting ready to come in for the bottom of the second, just starting to throw. Still just one out. Now it's a full count.
Steph.
Way to go, Steph.
Steph.
Got a foul ball. She can focus, zoom in and out, and catch foul balls. That's our Steph. Stroman has thrown 45 pitches to record 4 outs. Been a real battle for him, and you have to figure that there's some factor with that middle finger. He hasn't had the crispness in his pitches that we normally see. 3-2. There's a drive to deep right field. McKinney has it. Duffy's tagging up. He will hold at second. Throw was offline. About 30 feet away from the base, but Stroman was there to take the throw. So there are 2 outs now. Tommy Pham swung at the first pitch his first time up and picked up an RBI single. He drove home Duffy from second. And again, Duffy's in scoring position with 2 outs.
Yeah, you got to be careful with him. You mentioned his 8-game hit streak. 5 of those games have been multi-hit games. He already has one tonight.
Another block by Maley keeps Duffy at second.
You mentioned last inning about number of pitches per inning. Very important for a person who has problems with blisters or hot spots. Obviously, the longer the inning, the tougher it is to get in there and get it on ice and cool that spot down. 20 pitches in the first inning, 28 more here in the second.
That hit Pham right on the back of the left arm, maybe on the wrist. That inside pitch hits him, and he'll go to first base. Pham spent time on the DL with a fractured foot.
Fastball gets away from it, tries to pull the hands in. That's right off the wrist. For Tommy Pham, hopefully a glancing blow where it just ricochets off the wrist.
And John Gibbons has made the call to the bullpen. So Marcus Stroman will leave with 2 outs in the second. He throws 49 pitches. He gives up 4 runs on 6 hits and hit a batter. You know, another disappointing outing for Marcus Stroman. Now, Stroman is out of the game early. Jose Fernandez will make his second big league appearance. Comes in with 2 outs and a man at first. Tampa Bay leads it 4-0. Debut on Saturday down in Miami. He had a very good inning Tied deciding order on just 10 pitches.
Yeah, 3 up, 3 down, a pop out, 2 ground outs. Spent some time in AA and AAA this year. 44 games all told for Jose. Fastball slider that looks like a curveball and a cutter. I was asking him the other day, I said, is that a curveball or a slider? He says, no, that's my slider. I said, where'd you come up with that? He said, I just tried to take something off of it. It's got more of a break to it now, like a curveball. But it's been a good pitch for him this year.
They got Pham hung up. Duffy really left him out to drive because Duffy broke to third, and now Maley will get Pham in a rundown, and now Duffy's going to head over.
Needs to cover home.
Focus on the right guy, and they tag him out. Home. So they tag out Pham, but that was all caused by Matt Duffy braking as if he was going to steal third, and Pham just reacted to that. But the Blue Jays are able to get out of the inning.
Watch the top of your screen. He acts like he's going to run that back runner. He doesn't know he's going to stop. Now Luke Maley's got to run at these guys, run them back, figure out a way to get the out, and they eventually tag out Pham between first and second.
The first 20,000 fans will receive an R2D toque. Then at 4:07 p.m. Eastern, watch Cleveland take on your Toronto Blue Jays. For tickets, visit bluejays.com. Buck.
Thank you very much, Hazel. Make sure you check that all out on Saturday, September 8th. This is Yonny Chirinos making his 14th appearance of the season. The opener is now closed. He's out of the game.
Ryan Stanek out after an inning, 3 up, 3 down. Yonny Chirinos in 2-5, 404 earned run average. He was a starter in the minor leagues after he was an undrafted free agent June of 2012. He's the guy who's going to get you 5 or 6 innings, and at least that's the plan. He has made 7 starts this year in his 13 games with the Rays.
Chirinos is in to start the bottom of the second. Chirinos fastball about 94. He'll throw a slider and a splitter. That was the split that he bounced in the dirt.
Right, he uses that as his changeup, a little split change. He's a lot like Ryan Stanek. Doesn't throw as hard as Stanek.
Kevin Pillar at the plate, hitting in the cleanup spot. The Rays pitchers have really shut down the Blue Jays offense. Coming into this game, they had allowed just 15 earned runs in 80 innings. That's a 169 earned run average.
Yeah, Blue Jays, they're not even averaging 2 runs a game against Tampa. That's how well they have matched up against Toronto this year. That guy's going to get a lot of votes, I think. Snell for Cy Young Award this season.
There's a swing and a miss. Good fastball for the strikeout. 1 away.
2018 Honda CR-V, where style and versatility come together.
After a rainy afternoon, the skies have cleared here in Toronto and the roof is open. Aledmus Diaz fouls off that fastball. A little bit of movement in Chirinos with that fastball.
Yeah, he's a strike throwing machine. That's his reputation. Just come in, work quickly, pound the strike zone with those 3 pitches.
Excuse me, check swing foul. Diaz for the season right at .250. Aledmus has 18 doubles and 16 home runs. He's just one shy of his career high at 17 2 years ago with the Cardinals in his rookie season. There's the splitter again. Diaz had a rough road trip. He was just 2 for 19 on the road trip. You remember Diaz was injured down in St. Pete running up the first baseline, stumbled over the bag and injured his ankle, put him on the disabled list. He missed a lot of time early in the season.
That was unfortunate at that time. He was really swinging the bat well when he rolled his ankle.
Close one, but low. A 1-out walk. That's the first base runner for the Blue Jays. Blue Jays are going to have to figure something out against Tampa Bay. They have not scored any runs at all, as we mentioned, against Tampa Bay. This season, the Rays are 7-2 against the Blue Jays. They've allowed 4 runs or fewer in all 9 games these two teams have played.
Mentioned under 2 runs a game against them. That's the lowest mark by any team against a division opponent in the big leagues this year. This will help if you're going to walk guys.
Russell Martin averaged just under 200 for the season. He's back at third base again tonight. Russell will make you throw a strike.
Yep, he's in another good fastball count. 2-0. This is where you can unlock it right here and just let it fly. Chirinos has missed his last 4.
Nick Schufo, the rookie catcher, went out to the mound to have a quick visit. Schufo, the first-round pick in 2013. He's just 23 years old. He's a good catch and throw guy. Blue Jays aren't going to run here.
No, not at all. Being down 4-0, they're going to have to hit their way back into this one. Chirinos calls himself the follower. You got the opener, he's the follower. He follows the guy who started the game and will likely pitch as long as he can.
Also had a good cut on that 2-0 pitch. Chirinos, 24 years old. He's from Venezuela. Signed by the Rays in June of 2012 as an amateur free agent. This is his first season in the big leagues. Good take by Martin. It's 3-1 now. Blue Jays will play 3 against Tampa Bay and 4 against the Cleveland Indians on this homestand. Second to last homestand of the season. Ball 4. Back-to-back 1-out walks, and the Blue Jays are encouraged by Connie Chirinos. Kyle Snyder, the pitching coach will come out and have a chat with Chirinos.
Some words of encouragement, because just like yesterday, Teoscar Hernandez batting with a couple of runners on base, breaking ball, doubled the lead for the Blue Jays from 3 to 6. One swing of the bat. That's why he is so tantalizing as a player. He's got that power at the plate. That is something you can't teach. And when you watch him take batting practice, how the ball comes off his bat, I mean, you have to be encouraged about the ability to hit home runs. There's growing pains, yes. You know, as you see that, he got off to a hot start in his season this year, and he's going through a little bit of a rough patch, but he's going to stay out there and he'll battle his way through it.
The Blue Jays are really encouraged by a number of things they see in Teoscar Hernandez. First of all, as you mentioned, the power. It's hard to find power. They don't just create power hitters, they're kind of born. Then they learn how to hit for power in the big leagues. Another thing they like is the way he has gone about his business as far as putting in his work. Ball in the dirt. Well, you really got to be selective here, and I know Teoscar likes to swing the bat, but you have to force Chirinos to throw you a strike.
Yeah, he struck out Kevin Pillar on a borderline pitch and wasn't even really close to Diaz and Martin, and then that first pitch not even close. You're looking for one pitch in one area now.
We got a pretty good pitch, little runner on the inner half. You know, when you see Teoscar, there are times you go, man, this is a good-looking player, going to play every day, and then you'll see him make a few mistakes in the outfield. He might strike out 3 or 4 times in a game. When it's all said and done, you have to realize he comes into this game with 606 Major League at-bats. Just barely a full season.
2 to 4 years at the Major League level. That's what it takes, I think, for players to establish themselves.
There's a base hit up the middle. Diaz is being waved around third. He's going to score. Martin will go to third, and here come the Blue Jays. Teoscar Hernandez, an RBI single. Blue Jays take advantage of those back-to-back one-out walks.
Yeah, you're just inviting trouble when you start walking guys with a 4-run lead. You're saying, here, I'm going to give you a chance. Then Teoscar takes advantage of it. Chirinos has a power sinker, but that one doesn't sink. It stays over the middle of the plate, and they're in the shift, and he beats the shift by pounding that ball through him. Russell Martin very alertly goes first to third on that single.
And Danny Jansen staring into a shift himself. 1 out. Jansen pops the first pitch up. Brandon Lau, the second baseman, makes the catch out into the outfield. Now there are 2 outs. Jansen went after the first pitch, got jammed, and pops out.
I'm sure he knows Chirinos from their time in AAA. Chirinos pitched in 8 games down in Durham this year. Probably seen him somewhere along the way coming up through the farm system. The Rays and the Blue Jays have a lot of their minor league teams in the same division, the same league. So I'm sure they've seen each other in the past.
Luke Mailey had a big day yesterday. Mailey with 3 extra base hits for the first time in his career. Had 3 doubles.
He was telling me before the ball game, he said, I had a horrible round of batting practice yesterday. He didn't hit on the field. I went in the cage, he says, I couldn't hit anything. So he made up his mind in the game that he was just going to swing hard. He said, I'm going to try and hit everything off the left field foul pole. And what that will do is get me ready to get on the fastball, get ready to swing, get ready to hit. There's Diego Castillo warming up.
He's warming up to follow the follower. 1-1 pitch. Mailey gets jammed.
What Luke didn't want to do is, you know, when you don't play every day, you start feeling for the baseball and say, okay, I got to guide the ball over here, or he's pitching me away and I got to serve the ball to right field. He said, that's the last thing I wanted to do. I wanted to be aggressive at the plate. And it showed up in the game yesterday. He hit 3 balls really hard.
Yeah, he sure did. Hit it all over the ballpark. 1-2 now, 2 outs. There goes the runner. Cut on and miss. Melee strikes out, but the Blue Jays get on the board. They take advantage of a couple of one-out walks. Teoscar Hernandez with the RBI single.
Pitching and defense, and if you want to see some defense, check out Joey Wendell in the game yesterday. He's only had 8 games at third base this season, but he put on a clinic, robbing the Cleveland Indians not once, not twice, not 3 times, 4 different times. Wendell made great plays. He's an athletic fielder. He's played all over the diamond. He has a .991 fielding percentage at second base, second in the American League. Well, at third base, he was showing it off yesterday. The human vacuum cleaner over at third base cleaning up yesterday for the Tampa Bay Rays.
He leads things off here against Jose Fernandez. Wendell was drafted by Cleveland in the 6th round of the 2012 draft. Spent 3 years in the minor leagues with the Cleveland Indians before he went to Oakland. So he gave him a good look at what they're missing. Jose Fernandez came into the ball game in relief and was able to get out of it with out recording an out himself. The Rays were caught in a double steal, and Blue Jays were able to get out of it with Wendell at the plate.
Yeah, I think you got to like what you see from Jose Fernandez. Okay, he's only been in 1 big league game, but he didn't look intimidated. He didn't look scared. He looked like he was under control. He knew exactly what he wanted to do. And for a left-handed reliever, and he'll probably be a reliever, that's the pitch right there I think important for him. That hard breaking ball against a left-handed hitter. Those are put-away pitches when you pitch out of the bullpen.
Fernandez is 25 years old. He turned 25 back in February. This is his 2nd big league game. Look at that piece of hitting by Wendell. Around first, he's headed for second. Better hustle it in. Here's the throw. Not in time. Boy, Wendell continues to play the perfect Tampa Bay Ray mold. Utility player, plays all over the place, plays every day because he can, and he comes up with his 22nd double.
You know, what is impressive about that was the pitch that he fouled off previously. That's the 2-strike approach, and he's able to get it into the outfield and then hustle it into second base for an extra base hit. But he kept that at bat alive by fouling off a nasty pitch by Fernandez right before that.
He's had good at bats. Wendell's average now over 300 with 2 hits tonight.
You know, with 2 strikes, you have to cut your swing down because pitchers are going to try and get you. And look at that at bat. He just kind of carves at that ball and just barely gets a piece of it to keep the at bat alive. and now he's standing out at second base.
You know what that at bat is a product of? Over 2,500 at bats in the minors. He's had to fight and claw for every opportunity he's had in the big leagues, and he learned how to hit in the minor leagues. He's 28 years old. He's not a kid, but this is his first full season in the big leagues, and he's made the most of it.
Throwback. I mean, he is a throwback. No batting gloves. Grind out those at bats. Make it tough on the pitcher.
This is Brandon Lau. He pops it up on the infield. Diaz, the shortstop, calls for it. He makes the catch. One away.
Super Slow-Mo Cam. Brought to you by Samsung Galaxy S9 and S9 Plus. The camera reimagined. Available now.
Tampa Bay has a 4-1 lead. They have out-hit the Blue Jays 7-1. Kevin Kiermaier with a triple. He came in to score. He started the second inning with that leadoff triple off Stroman. Kiermaier is now 28 years old. This is his 6th season. He came up in 2013, but got into just one regular season game. But they thought so much of him, they kept him on the postseason roster in 2013. He got into a game against Cleveland in the wild card game.
Just for defense, right? Because he's such a great defender, Joe Maddon wanted to keep him in the big leagues because of his defense.
1-1 pitch. Late on that fastball. Fernandez got a little extra zip on his heater. Last pitch was 95.
95.
That will make that breaking ball to the lefties more effective. Kiermaier has to honor that velocity.
Yeah, Pete writing down, hey, that was a 95. Write that down. And now what are you going to follow it up with? You've got 2 strikes.
Ground ball base hit through the middle. Windows around third. Pillar's not going to have a throw as Kevin Kiermaier is 2 for 2. He stayed on that breaking ball after that good fastball from Fernandez.
Yeah, that one just didn't have the type of break that you needed. His slider's got a lot of movement. He also throws a cutter that doesn't move as much. It just tries to move off of the barrel of the bat. But this time, if that's the cutter, it moved right to the barrel. And Kiermaier, he's seen a lot of those in his years in the big leagues.
Now, Kiermaier is a threat to run as well. He has 9 stolen bases this season.
This should be good matchups, I think, for Fernandez. They've got 7 left-handed batters in their lineup tonight.
That's why he was the first one out of the Blue Jays bullpen. Take advantage of the matchups.
Now he's got to show that he can get these left-handed batters out.
There goes Kiermaier. Looked like more of a hit and run break than a straight steal, but Bowers bounces out to the second baseman. Kiermaier moves into scoring position, but now there are 2 outs. Kiermaier was really late breaking from first. I think they were just trying to open up a hole on the infield for Bowers.
Yeah, the Blue Jays played it right. They had the shortstop covering and not the second baseman. Kiermaier didn't get a good read, and you're not supposed to. When you play hit and run, your job as the runner at first base is don't get picked off. So you wait that extra count and then go.
Nick Schufo, the catcher, into a fielder's choice in the second inning. He was batting with Kiermaier at first and 1 out. Hit a ball to the first baseman Smoke. Kiermaier got in a rundown, but safely got back to third.
He's their former first-round draft pick just 5 seasons ago. 21st overall. This is his major league debut tonight.
A little bit harder breaking ball there at 89. Fernandez ahead 1-2. Danny Barnes starting to loosen up for the Blue Jays. Fernandez with the strikeout, but Tampa Bay has added to their lead. They score a run on 2 hits. RBI single by Kevin Kiermaier. 5-1 Rays. Since he's joined the Blue Jays, and you take a look at the AL rookies batting since August 13th. All 3 of these guys started out with the Yankees this year.
Yeah, that's right. Gleyber Torres is hot as anybody right now since coming off the disabled list. Miguel Andujar at 333 with a lot of production. There's Billy McKinney stuck right in the middle at 381. They picked him up in that J. Happ trade from the New York Yankees. And what's impressive, yeah, the numbers are great, but he's also producing for the Blue Jays. He's had 8 extra base hits and 10 RBIs in his 13 games so far.
The trade took place on July 26th. Donnie Chirinos in his 2nd inning of work delivers a first pitch strike to Billy McKinney.
He doesn't give away at bats at all. I mean, he's up there and he is battling and scratching and clawing.
And an extended bat his first time up against Ryan Stanek, and eventually struck out on a splitter in the dirt. Over his last 10 games coming into this game, batting .382. 1-2 now.
Let's see him go to work now with 2 strikes on him. They play him in the shift. I mean, the whole left side of the infield with that sinker should play to him.
McKinney strikes out for a 2nd time. 1 away.
Take on any project with Home Hardware, proud partner of the Toronto Blue Jays. Here's how.
Beautiful shot of the CN Tower. Labor Day Monday. Of course, the CNE wrapped up today, and the air show was in full form around noon. Thunderbirds were buzzing around this area. It's one of the best air shows in the world. Pulled on the ground. Matt Duffy, long throw in plenty of time. 2 away.
That's a nasty sinker that Chirinos possesses. He couldn't find it last inning, walking a couple of batters, and one of them came around to score. And that sinker, you're going to have to catch it out in front if you're a right-handed hitter.
We mentioned Chirinos throwing about 95 on average with that fastball, and they're going to move into that shift again. Joey Wendell out into right field. He's the shortstop. Brandon Lau stays up the middle from his 2nd base position. upstairs, ball on a strike.
Smoke's been having good at bats, especially from the left side. You can see him tuck that front shoulder and really get back on that back leg.
Smoke has homered in 4 straight games. That ties him with 12 other Blue Jays in that category. The all-time longest home run streak for the Blue Jays, Kendrys Morales. He hit home runs in 7 straight games, a total of 8 home runs. That streak lasted from August 19th to the 26th. Came to an end in Baltimore.
Yeah, one of those, he got a pinch hit. He had to hit a home run to keep that streak going.
Smoke is called out on strikes. Good inning for Chirinos. He retires the side in order with a couple of strikeouts. They'll go to the 4th. Tampa Bay with an early lead.
For 10 strikeout performance against the Marlins, Reed Foley rebounded quite nicely after a rocky first couple of starts to begin his big league career. He was then optioned down to Buffalo on August 20th, and according to his pitching coach, returns as a more confident pitcher. Pete Walker telling me anytime you get called up to the big leagues, there's always a lot of stress and anxiety. When you get a bit of a breather by going back down to the minors, that could be a good thing or a bad thing. Sometimes guys go down there, take AAA for granted. Reed Foley went down there, got his work done, refocused, regrouped, and what you saw in Miami was a more comfortable, confident young man. His warm-ups were more under control. That comfort level, that second time around, he knows now what to expect at this big league level, and we're now seeing a different side of him. As for when we'll see him next, Buck, John Gibbons telling me he is set to make, quote, a couple more starts, but not sure when. Back to you.
I'm sure they'll get another look at him as a starter before it's all said and done. Reed Foley had 1 walk and 10 strikeouts, and that 10 strikeouts ties Jay Happ for the most strikeouts by a Blue Jay starter this season. He's also the 9th rookie in team history to record 10 or more strikeouts in a game. He was totally different than what we saw in his first 2 starts.
Yeah, he was pushing like he was trying to generate power in his first couple of starts, and that doesn't free you up. He looked free yesterday, where his lower half was really working in unison with his upper half, and that fastball was really popping. Luke Maile did a good job of getting slider into the equation early in yesterday's game.
Brandon Noah calls Malik Smith for the swing. That'll be the second strikeout of the game for Fernandez. Smith didn't believe he went around. He's not too happy about this call, but by that view, it certainly looked like he swung. Here's Matt Duffy. He has singled and doubled. He scored a run and driven in 2. He had a 2-run double in the second. Well, that's a nice breaking ball. He drops on the outside corner. If you're wondering how many pitches that Fernandez might be able to throw, he threw 48 pitches in a season-high 3 innings of work for the Buffalo Bisons on the 23rd of June. Duffy hits it hard again, but this time it's right to Russ Martin.
Yeah, you need somebody to give you some length tonight after the starter got knocked out in the second inning. One time through the lineup, maybe 3 innings, whatever it takes, but you need somebody to eat up some of those innings. Blue Jays are going to have some reinforcements, I believe, tomorrow down in their bullpen.
They had some younger pitchers here today. They were throwing, but they weren't activated. Ji-Man Choi goes after that breaking ball.
They do have 9 relievers, but you want to save those the big guys, the 3 guys, for the back end of the game, especially if you're winning.
Another good breaking ball for strike 2. I know it's only 2 outings, but I like what I've seen from Jose Fernandez. He also has the benefit of pitching in winter ball. Last 2 seasons, he's pitched in 25 games in a Dominican Winter League. And if you wonder what the big deal about that is, it's the atmosphere, the competition, the caliber of hitters he's pitching against. It's all very good experience.
It accelerates your growth as a player, doesn't it? I mean, you might come from Double-A, and that's where he started this year. And now you're facing former big leaguers or big leaguers trying to get back into shape.
The fly ball off the end of the bat. Teoscar Hernandez runs it down in fair territory. Nice inning for Jose Fernandez. Retires the side in order to the top of the 4th. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. Pilar, Diaz, and Martin for the Blue Jays.
Get up, get out of here, gone!
It's the Buck Martinez Get Up Alarm Clock giveaway. Junior J's Back to School Day presented by Boston Pizza is on Sunday, September 9th. The first 20,000 fans, not just the little ones, will receive this Buck Martinez Get Up Alarm Clock. Then watch your Blue Jays host the Cleveland Ball Club. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com. Hoping I can get one, Buck. Do you know anybody?
I just may. It's going to be a fun day. Of course, the kids, they're not going to like it. They got to get up and go to school. Kevin Pillar hits it to the shortstop, Joey Wendell. Sharp line drive, but that's out number 1 here in the 4th.
It's interesting, the timing of that right before school gets going, huh?
Yep, that's what they all had on their mind. School starts tomorrow for a lot of these kids. First day after Labor Day. Ledmus Diaz walked and scored the only Blue Jays run. Goes after the first pitch and hits a high fly ball. Malix Smith with good speed runs over, makes the catch in right center.
2 pitches, 2 outs. So if you're Russell Martin, you got to take this pitch. And if you're Tampa Bay Rays, the catcher, you got to realize that and say, give me the fastball right down the middle. I know he's taken.
Yeah, you got to believe that Martin's aware that the first two batters have made outs on 2 pitches. Again, they play in the shift. Tampa Bay's always been very aggressive playing in the shifts.
They were out front, weren't they, on that? They were the first tried to guide it in there. They were the first team I remember starting to really utilize it, use it a lot.
Remember, Joe Madden used 4 outfielders in Fenway against David Ortiz. There's a strike, 1-1. It's a loose team, and that is one of the looser guys on the team, Carlos Gomez. And why not? They're 10 games over 500. They have really played well, especially in the second half. And what a quick inning for Chirinos. Just 7 pitches to retire the side in order. We'll go to the 5th. Now time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell with Joe Siddall from the Samsung Broadcast Studio.
TD's community partners. Welcome, everybody. WestJet's first Dreamliner is coming, and it's a game changer. Get ready for a refined travel experience. Visit 787.westjet.com to see the whole story.
Thank you very much, Hazel. And lots of fans on the WestJet flight deck. The Blue Jays have a new pitcher after Jose Fernandez had 2 good innings. Danny Barnes will come in to start the 5th.
Third pitcher tonight for the Blue Jays. Danny pitched twice in that series in Miami. In fact, on the road trip, he pitched 4 different times. The last 3, just 2/3 of an inning each time. And they were able to pinch hit for him down in Miami. He has battled some knee problems this year, and I got a chance to chat with him. He was saying that he actually has a torn a quad muscle that connects right around the knee area. He says, I'm going to need some time to get that thing healed, but I want to pitch right through that time. And you could tell that something just wasn't right with him. I mean, he's always been a guy who pounds the strike zone.
Yeah, anytime you don't have a solid foundation from which to work, it's going to create problems. And we haven't seen that same conviction on pitches from Danny Barnes this year.
It's the left leg. It's the landing leg where you put all the pressure of your body as you go forward. He says, you know, I'll pitch through it and I'll take care of it in the off season. No problems. But yeah, it's there, but I can deal with it.
Ball gets away from him. This is Tommy Pham. Pham has an RBI single. He's been hit by a pitch. As you look at Tim Mesa loosening up. Blue Jays have 3 lefties in the bullpen. We've already seen Jose Fernandez for 2 innings. Outside, Pham draws the leadoff walk. That's a pretty good indication right there that Barnes isn't 100%. He rarely walks people. He's always been a strike thrower throughout his whole career.
With his fastball. And he missed 3 times with his fastball in that at bat. And here come the parade of left-handers getting their way to the plate. So Blue Jays on the phones.
Only two righties in this starting lineup, Matt Duffy and Tommy Pham. Joey Wendell is 2 for 2. He had a hustle double to lead off the third. A fly ball into center field, then just beat it out into second. Came around to score the 5th Rays run.
Left-handed hitters haven't been a problem in the past for Danny Barnes because of his good changeup. He can throw it at any point in an at-bat, in any count. And he's not afraid to throw it to the lefties.
Little looper, that's going to drop for a base hit. Joey Wendell is 3 for 3. Couple of singles and a double. First two reads against Danny Barnes, and that's going to be it. The lefties are all stacked up. There's two righties in the lineup, so we'll have another left-hander come on. Barnes does not record an out. Walked the batter and gives up a little flare base hit. So Barnes out of the game. Tim Mesa comes in. Mesa's been throwing the ball very well. He'll have Brandon Lau, the second baseman, to deal with 2 on and nobody out. Tampa Bay with that 5-run lead.
And on every screen, go to snnow.ca and sign in with your TV provider. Details to start watching today.
Tim Mesa, the second left-hander to come on tonight. He's the third relief pitcher to work for the Blue Jays, and Mesa's been throwing the ball very well lately.
Yeah, he has dropped his earned run average in each of his last 5 appearances. A couple against Philadelphia, a couple against Baltimore, and then Miami in an inning. Just gave up a hit. His slider has been much better. His fastball command has been much better, and he's got some lefties now that he's going to deal with.
Mesa with that spin move checked in on Tommy Pham at second. Pham's at second, Wendell at first. Brandon Lau, the second baseman, 0 for 2.
I think they were also checking to see if he might square around a bunt. First 2 runners on.
Again, he spins around. Nothing shown by the Rays.
Blue Jays expect a bunt as you see the corners in.
Andrew Velasquez made his major league debut last night. Switch hitter just called up from the minors. Talking to the veteran Carlos Gomez on the bench. Velasquez, of course, getting his first look at Rogers Center. It gets away, and Mele gets on it quickly, so Pham holds his ground. Pham and Wendell have been on base all 6 times they've come to the plate.
And allows have plenty of opportunities to advance them. Good job by Maley. Look again, jumping on that wide throw to keep those runners on at first and second. Thought they might be trying to move these runners along after the first two reach here.
2-1 now. Yeah, Mays has really got to take advantage of this situation to bail out Danny Barnes. Barnes walked Pham and then gave up a little bloop single to Wendell. Both Pham and Wendell have extended their hit streaks to 9 straight games. Ground ball. This could be 2. Diaz, Gurriel back to first. A double play. It wasn't all that smooth. There was a little bobble as that ball came up on Diaz, and then Gurriel, making sure he got the good grip on the baseball, takes his time, but they're able to turn 2.
That's right. I thought they might try and move the runners first and second. You've got speed on the bases. A left-handed batter not familiar with a left-handed pitcher. Blue Jays will take it. 6-4-3 double play. The pitcher's best friend.
So now it'll be Kevin Kiermaier. He's 2 for 2 so far in this game. He has a triple and an RBI single. That ball sneaks away, and that's going to cost the Jays a run. Pham comes in to score. That hard slider in the dirt. It'll be a wild pitch charge to Meza.
Sometimes when you want a strike, you overthrow it, and that's what it looked like from Tim. Overthrew that slider in the dirt. Luke's done a good job tonight of blocking these balls, but that time he doesn't go down to his knees and cover up that spot between the legs.
So it's 6-1 Tampa Bay. Kiermaier swings and misses. Ball on the strike. Going to be charged to Danny Barnes. That leadoff walk comes in to score. Ground ball, Martin. In time, the inning is over, but Tampa Bay gets another run. Middle of the 5th, the Rays have a 6-1 lead. The Blue Jays have just 1 hit.
Park app. Access and manage your tickets. Enjoy check-in offers, exclusive content, and much more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today.
Thank you very much, Hazel. As we go to the bottom of the 5th, Teoscar Hernandez is going to lead things off. And Teoscar, coming into this game, had a total of 606 Major League at-bats. And we had talked to Mark Shapiro earlier, and they really like what they have seen from Teoscar to this point. He's got 19 home runs this year with 50 RBIs. Batting average is low, on-base percentage is low as well. But we mentioned just 606 at-bats for his career. We went back and looked at George Bell's first 606 at-bats. He had 17 home runs and 78 RBIs. So Teoscar's on a better pace through the first 600 at-bats. Now, we're not going to say that Teoscar's going to turn into an MVP player, but certainly they are very similar players in this point of their career.
Teoscar is that type of player. He has 80 RBIs, so he's had more RBIs than George Bell did at this point.
And more home runs.
And more home runs, almost twice as many home runs. Similar type of players, talented players. Mark was talking about that. That's why they like him, because he has so many tools, and it takes 2 to 4 years to get acclimated to the major leagues. There's adjustments to be made. There's the major league life, but he has tools just like George Bell. George wasn't known as a great defender, but he was out there working. He became a decent defender.
But George Bell worked his tail off to become a good outfielder. I'm not going to say he was a Gold Glover, but he became a very good outfielder.
Serviceable.
And he played hard.
And he played hard, just like Teoscar.
Just like Teoscar.
Teoscar hustled down the line right there and almost beat that out. But that's an interesting comparison.
The Blue Jays got George Bell in a Rule 5 draft from Philadelphia, and Bell was coming off knee surgery. So he was rehabbing, and the Phillies figured nobody would take a shot at him. They left him exposed in that Rule 5 draft, and he was claimed by the Blue Jays in the Rule 5 draft. And obviously, with the great scouts and great front office the Blue Jays had at that point, they claimed him and brought him to the big leagues. Danny Jansen draws the walk.
Were you here then? Like, how old was George when he got to the big league?
He was 21. My first year was 81. That's when he came here.
That was his first year, yeah.
And we saw him, and he was a very green outfielder. But boy, you could see the thunder in his bat. In 81, in just 163 at bats, he hit 5 home runs.
Teoscar a little bit older by a couple of years, 2 or 3 years.
A little bit older, but a Rule 5 player, obviously you have to keep him in the big leagues, and that was the situation with Bell. Ground ball off the bat of Maley. Second for 1. Return throw to first. Double play. So that 1-out walk is erased on the double play. We'll go to the 6th. First to 3 against Tampa Bay. The Rays have a 6-1 lead. Jamie Campbell. We move to the 6th. Tampa Bay. 1 in the first, 3 in the second, 1 in the third, and 1 more in the 5th. And they have a 6-1 lead over the Blue Jays. Blue Jays have just 1 hit. Teoscar Hernandez with an RBI single in the second. That's the only hit they've been able to muster. Jake Bauers, the first baseman. Jim Meza, the lefty. There's a strike. It's 1-1 to Bauers.
Should be a good outing for him. Good matchups that favor him with all these left-handers. He came in, got the double play ball, and then the weak ground out to finish off last inning. He's got 3 more lefties to deal with here in the 6th.
Yeah, there are only 2 right-handed bats in this lineup. Duffy in the 2 spot, Pham in the cleanup spot. He's a missed with that fastball.
He's facing Bauers, who's been struggling lately. He's opening up just a little bit too quickly. Instead of letting that ball come to him, looks like he's trying to go out there and get it.
Taylor Guerreri starting to loosen up.
Former Tampa Bay Ray.
Former #1 pick of the Rays. Ground ball. That's Diaz, the shortstop, on the first base side of second. 1 out. Nick Ciuffo, the catcher, playing in his first big league game. He has gone 0 for 2 with a strikeout. The Rays, like the Blue Jays, have had a lot of rookies play the Rays, with Ciuffo appearing tonight. Have had 12 rookies make their major league debut this season. The Blue Jays have had 9, but that's about to change probably in a day or two when they have more call-ups. Sean Reed Foley included in that group. Kevin Cash has had a lot of young players come up and contribute.
For me, he's got to be the manager of the year in the American League.
It's a great point.
You know why? I remember in spring training, Blue Jays are right there with them. They're very close to them. So you could read the newspaper about all the problems that they had in spring training. The injuries.
A fly ball line drive to the shortstop, a 1-out skipper to Diaz, and there's 2 outs.
The shift helps right there. But remember, they had traded Longoria, they had traded Souza, they let go Corey Dickerson, Logan Morris. I mean, they really had a huge turnover. And then it looked like it was all going to backfire, as Meza doesn't come up with that one. Luckily, his shortstop was playing right behind him to record the out. Then in spring training, they lost their #1 pitching prospect, Brown Honeywell, for the season. They had other injuries to their starting staff, and they got off to a rotten start, but he kept things, in line. And this team is playing as well as anybody right now.
They are 10 games over 500 coming into this game. 73 and 63. They haven't been 11 games over 500 since 2013 at the end of the season, when they were 92 and 71. That got them into the wild card game. They beat Cleveland in the wild card game, and then lost to Boston in the ALDS. But they've put together a pretty good season.
And speaking of that wild card game, I was talking to some of the media from Tampa Bay, and they're starting like, well, Oakland's we're only 8 games behind Oakland in the wild card. I mean, there's some whispers with 4 weeks left in the season about possibly stealing a wild card spot. Who would have said that in April?
Well, you know what? And they have experience as an organization in that, because they were back in 2011. They were back about the same distance from the wild card spot, and they rallied. Ended up with 91 wins, and they lost in a division series in 2011. But Joe Madden was the manager, and they kept battling and battling, and I think that was the season they played 163.
Yeah.
At the end of the year, everybody gathered around and watched that great finishing day.
Yeah, 11 Longoria with the home runs.
They lost the AL Division Series to Texas 3-1. But they were similar position that year, and they kept struggling, kept fighting, and got themselves into the wild card game.
Same type of scrappy play right now.
Meza with a strikeout. Good inning for Tim Meza. That slider gets Malik Smith. Will go to the bottom of the sixth. The Blue Jays need a rally. Top of the order coming up.
Small victory in the latest installment of his ongoing prank war with Terry Francona. Earlier in the series, the Cleveland manager had scoreboard operators display Cash's less than stellar offensive numbers during his playing days, something Francona's done over the years. Well, yesterday, Cash, who was part of Francona's coaching staff in 2013-14, stole Francona's beloved scooter, rolled it onto the infield during Rays BP, and jokingly offered $500 to the player who could hit it. CJ Crone was the eventual winner. Asked how he managed to get a hold of Francona's most prized possession, Cash said he still had plenty of friends left in town. Francona had no comment on that prank, so Cash fully expects, Buck, some type of retribution when Cleveland visits the Trop next week. I cannot wait to see what Tito's got up his sleeve.
Oh, you know there's payback coming. These two are very close. Of course, Cash worked on Francona's staff in Cleveland, and they are very close. And Kevin Cash, in his fourth season here, has taken a lot of grief from Francona. Billy McKinney rips it up the middle. Alex Smith cuts it off. There's another good example of what speed will do for you on defense. That looked like an extra base hit.
This 4K broadcast is brought to you by the Samsung QLED TV. See nothing else.
Billy McKinney robbed of an extra base hit by the speed of Malik Smith in right field. Gurriel goes after the first pitch. Wendell to second, back to first. Just like that, that leadoff single is wiped out with a double play. Second straight inning with a double play for Tampa Bay. Pitching and defense, they're back to that winning formula.
And if you don't think that play by Malik Smith is important, look at the double play. 2 outs with 1 pitch. From where we sit, that looked like 2, possibly 3. But he took a great route. He actually rounded into that ball to cut it off. He didn't go straight across. He rounded, got a good angle, backhanded the ball, got it back in, held him to a single, and a pitch later, they're going to be out of this.
Bouncing ball up the middle. Wendell from behind second. Smokes retired. Another quick inning for the Rays. Chirinos gets a benefit of that good play in the outfield from Smith and the double play.
The Jays wrap up the regular season. After the Rays leave town, Cleveland pays the Rogers Center a visit for 4. Then it's the Rays once again from September 20th to the 23rd, and the world champs and the final homestand of 2018. But by the way, the Cleveland Indians placed Josh Donaldson on the DL, so he will not be here on Thursday.
No, indeed. He went down and started rehab and played in Columbus in AAA and actually hit a grand slam today. So he'll be on the disabled list until the 11th of September, so that will keep him from coming here.
Taylor Guerrero will become the 4th reliever of the night for the Blue Jays. Taylor's first game with the Blue Jays. The other day in Miami, 2 very good innings just a hit. It took him 27 pitches to get through those 2 innings. His fastball had a lot of movement, a lot of late life.
Guerrero pitching against the team that drafted him. Guerrero was a first-round pick in 2011. 24th player taken overall. He's had Tommy John surgery. Came back, pitched a little bit last year, but his elbow started barking at him. They shut him down for the season. Came to spring training with the Blue Jays this year. Matt Duffy lifts it into the seats along the right side. 7th inning. Tampa Bay 6 runs on 9 hits. Blue Jays have just 2 hits. There's a good curveball for a strikeout. Maley will throw to first to complete that strikeout. 1 away.
The 2018 Civic Type R, like no Honda you've ever seen.
Ji-Man Choi, he is 0 for 3. Another curveball from Guerrero. Guerrero spent his entire season in AAA Buffalo. Choi fouls one off that right leg. Blake Snell, Velasquez, the rookie and the potential Cy Young Award winner.
Yeah, that's probably what he's saying. Blake Snell, best.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, if you dig into his numbers, they're ridiculous.
Yeah, he is a very legitimate candidate to win the Cy Young Award.
And nobody's talking about him.
We are.
Yeah, we are. But everybody around baseball, they're discounting the fact that he's playing for Tampa Bay.
He's got 17 wins. That ties him with Severino and Kluber for the most wins in the league. He also is second in ERA at 2.02 behind Chris Sale, who's on the DL. He's had a heck of a season.
How about his earned run average and batter against? I mean, they just can't get hits against him. Blue Jays are going to miss him in this series.
Blake Snell has given up a 186 opponent's batting average, second only again to Chris Sale. They're having some fun. There's a high fly ball deep to right field. McKinney looking up. This ball is gone. Ji-Man Choi with his 6th home run of the season. A 1-out homer here in the 7th.
They have acquired him and they've put him into the lineup and they've taken off. His left-handed bat has really done wonders for this team. That was a no doubt about it. Guerrero is a sinker curveball type of pitcher. He doesn't blow the ball by you, so when he misses his spots, the ball can get hit. Ji-Man Choi with another home run.
They got Ji-Man Choi in a trade with the Brewers for Brad Miller. That was on the 10th of June. There's that fastball on the corner.
That's a good spot for it right there. This one just elevated a little bit. Two-seamer that was up. He's just come over here and just hit.
Now ball sharply hit, but right to the shortstop. Pham is thrown out by his former teammate. Career home run number 13 for Ji-Man Choi.
Second deck. They don't hit a lot of home runs, the Tampa Bay Rays. So they enjoyed that one.
Joey Wendell, he's had quite a night. He's 3 for 3. Doubled and scored in the third. His average up to 303. Boosted that average 5 points with those 3 hits. Ground ball, Russell Martin. Right from the shortstop spot. Throws out Wendell, but the Rays get another run here in the 7th. A solo home run off the bat of Ji-Man Choi. 7-1 Tampa Bay.
But it's his defense that is so impressive. Just last inning, take a look at the route that he's going to take to cut this ball off. StatCast AI is powered by AWS, and from StatCast you can see took a great route, backhands the ball, fires the ball back in, holds him to a single, and the next pitch was hit into a double play ball. That's how you play defense.
Kevin Pillar rips a leadoff single into left field on the first pitch of the inning. Blue Jays are down by 6. That's just their 3rd hit of the ball game. Ryan Stanek opened up the game and had a clean inning in the only inning. He had 1 strikeout, and then Yonny Chirinos came on, started the 2nd.
We just aren't wasting any time against Yonny Chirinos. They've been swinging at that first pitch a lot lately. He's been known as a strike thrower.
There's another base hit through the right side. 2 pitches, 2 singles for the Blue Jays here in the 7th.
Last inning, they swung early in the count. They had a single, then that double play ball, and then a ground out. This inning, 2 pitches, 2 runners on base. Take what the defense gives you. And Aledmys Diaz takes advantage of that hole on the right side.
Still nobody throwing in the Rays bullpen. First 2 reach here in the 7th. Martin lays off that first pitch. Chirinos has thrown 59 pitches since coming on in the second. This is his 6th inning. Pretty efficient. Two and 0. The Blue Jays really have to be anxious to turn things around against this Tampa Bay ball club. Tampa Bay's won 7 of the 9 games they have played. They'll have 9 more games against the Rays after this game tonight. They just don't want to be their doormat.
Yeah, they've been out pitching them, out hitting them, out defense, out everything so far this year. Blue Jays trying to put up a fight here in the 7th inning, but they have not been able to figure out Tampa Bay this year. All the numbers favoring the Rays.
ERA average, they have the advantage in runs scored and home runs. Ground ball, this could be 2. Wendell to Lau, to first base to Bowers. The 3rd double play in the last 3 innings. That double play ball has gotten Chirinos out of some jam.
He's got a power type of sinker, and it's tough to get the ball elevated against him. I mean, he really drives that ball home when he stays on top of that ball. All 3 of those double plays, the last 3 innings, 6-4-3, right at the shortstop, right into the shift.
Joey Wendell starting at short for just the 3rd time. He's had a busy night. And he will remain busy. Catches that line drive. A very quick inning once again. A couple of singles, a double play, and a line out. Tyler Clipper coming out of the Jays bullpen. Authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. A disappointing outing for Marcus Stroman as he is out of the game in the second. Just an inning and 2 thirds. He's charged with 4 runs on 6 hits. And you just still have to believe that that finger is creating problems for him. This is Tyler Clippard after Guerreri had 1 inning of work. Clippard will come on to start the 8th.
Tyler did not pitch in that series in Miami. The Blue Jays just finished up yesterday. So he'll make his first appearance since the 29th. That was at Baltimore, pitching much better. That's his 65th appearance this season. They've been using him a lot. And he has come through. He's had a good year. 388 earned run average. He's had 7 saves for the Blue Jays and 12 holds to go along with those 4 wins out of the bullpen.
Tyler Clippard gets ahead of Brandon Lau. Check swing. Now it's 0-2. Taylor Guerreri worked an inning, gave up the solo home run to Ji-Man Choi and had a strikeout. Guerreri threw 13 pitches.
Looked good. I thought they might bring him back for another inning like he did last time, but Clippard needs some work, and he fans the first batter he faces.
That splitter does the trick for Clippard here to start the 8th.
Started jumping ahead early in the count, throwing him more fastballs, and then finishing off
Tone is the official paint of
those hitters with that splitter or that great changeup. He showed everything he had to offer to get that strikeout. Watch how that ball comes through and tumbles towards home plate.
Kevin Kiermaier's had a productive night at the plate. He's 2 for 3 with a triple, a run scored, and an RBI. That's a fair ball. This is going to be extra bases again. Billy McKinney over to play it off the wall. Kiermaier will jog into second. His 3rd hit of the night. A home run shy of the cycle.
Beauty Tone is the official paint of the Toronto Blue Jays. Only available at Home Hardware. Here's how.
So Kiermaier, his 10th double of the season. He earlier picked up his 7th triple of the season. Now Jake Bauers, he's had a rough night. He's 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Goes after that first pitch, pulled off that ball a bit.
Yeah, just a bit. You can see his head pull off that ball, anticipating that he's going to hit it. Well, the Rays are showing tonight why they've been tough lately. They've had some good at-bats.
Another fastball. Same result. The Rays have won 11 of their last 13 games. And it's come against playoff teams. Got a series against the Yankees, 2 against the Red Sox, a series against Atlanta, and 1 against Cleveland. They've played tough teams and played well. Where things get kind of interesting for the Rays, 16 of the last 27 games will be against teams under 500, including 9 more against the Blue Jays.
Yeah, and after this road trip, they will finish it up here Wednesday. They only have 1 more road trip of the whole season. Every other game is going to be at the Trop, and they do get to face Oakland there for 3 games. And if they're talking about possibly getting into the playoffs, they'd be chasing Oakland. Again, they're about 8 games behind them.
Wouldn't chase that high pitch.
They also
Oakland beat the Yankees earlier today, 6-3 out on the West Coast.
Blake Trinan with his 36th save. They also have 3 games against the Yankees. There are the numbers right there, 8.5 behind Oakland.
Check his swing. They call him for the swing. The home plate umpire called the swing on him, James Hoy. And Bauer said, you didn't even check, didn't appeal at all.
The umpire doesn't have to check, the home plate umpire, if he thinks he went around. And right away, James Hoy said, you went around. Looked like an off-speed pitch, a breaking ball.
So here's the catcher, Nick Schufo. He too 0 for 3. Goes after that first pitch. Be right back here tomorrow. As we speak, both teams have not announced their starting pitchers for tomorrow. Of course, it's up in the air always with Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
They only have 2 regular starters.
You'll get one of them on Wednesday. Tyler Glasnow is supposed to start that game for Tampa, and Blake Snell. In between, they've got a few here, a few there, an opener, a guy throwing an inning there, so you never know.
Brian Stanek started this game as the opener. It was the 41st time the Rays have used an opener. 23rd time for Stanek. Glasnow and Snell, the 2 legitimate starters in their quote-unquote rotation.
Yeah. That could all change next year if they get some of their injured players back and they want to do traditional starters.
Shufo gets a piece of that splitter and stays alive. It's a ball and 2 strikes. The Rays have scored in all but 2 innings tonight. Willie Adames and Blake Snell having a good time on the bench tonight. Adames has had a good rookie season.
They've got some good young players coming up. They're rebuilding a drastic turnover from last season. A makeover, if you will.
That's going to slice into the seats out of play. Nick Shufo, the catcher, he has scored a run tonight in his first big league game. That was back in the 2nd inning. Tampa Bay leads at 7-1. We mentioned earlier that the Rays have allowed 4 runs or fewer in all 9 games these 2 teams have played to this point. Tonight the Blue Jays have 1 run on 4 hits. Shufo hanging tough against Clippard.
Looking for that first big league hit. He's seen both of those changeups that were elevated from Tyler, and he's found them both back. Outfield playing him the other way. I don't think he's going to pull him. Infield straight away.
Took a shot down and missed the inside corner. Johnny Chirinos has really slammed the door on the Blue Jays offense.
He's had some easy innings, so they keep pushing him out there.
There's that splitter for the strikeout. Clippard ends up striking out 3 in the inning. Rays leave a man on. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th, 7-1 Tampa Bay. Now time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell with Kevin Barker from the Samsung broadcast studio.
change all across Canada. And all season long, we celebrate unstoppable kids in Jay's Care programs. Visit jayscare.com/unstoppablekids to support and learn more. Let's check in once again up to the broadcast booth, Buck Martinez and Pat Tabler. Gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Hazel May, as we have made it to the bottom of the 8th inning. The Blue Jays can't figure out Yanni Chirinos. Chirinos came into the game after the opener. Ryan Stanley pitched the first inning. And Chirinos has 6 strong innings under his belt.
Yeah, he was a little wobbly when he came in. A couple of walks and then a single. It looked like they had him on the rope, but now he has discovered that sinker, and he's been throwing it in the lower parts of the zone. Blue Jays haven't been able to get it in the air at all.
Blue Jays have hit into double plays in each of the last 3 innings. 92 right at the knees. Mark Leiter Jr., who has just been added to the roster, he was recently claimed on waivers from the Philadelphia Phillies. He's the nephew of Al Leiter, who pitched here with the Blue Jays, and the son of Mark Leiter, who also pitched in the big leagues. That's a fair ball. Brian Onora, he called it fair. The home plate umpire called it foul. But Onora had his hands in the air initially, then waved it fair. But the home plate umpire, James Hoy, called it a foul ball.
Isn't that the third base umpire's call? Once it goes by the bag. Watch the third base umpire. He was raising his hands and then he wanted to call fair, but then he saw his partner called it already.
Little squibber up the middle. Look at that play by Wendell. Boy, we highlighted the way he played yesterday in the field. That was at third base against Cleveland. He's played very well tonight at shortstop.
And he started 3 double plays the last 3 innings. That was an athletic play for Wendell. He's playing deep out on the outfield turf, and here he comes, hard charging. All in one motion, gets it over there to throw Danny Jansen out over at first base. Danny Jansen with this ball to shortstop. The Super Slow-Mo is brought to you by the Samsung S9 and S9 Plus, the camera reimagined. Available now.
Another one pitch out. Melee goes after that first pitch and grounds out to the third baseman. Another ground ball out for Chirinos.
Yeah, Blue Jays just can't get the ball in the air against this guy. They had a pop-up by Jansen in the 2nd inning. A fly ball by Diaz in the 4th. A couple of hits along the way, but then everything else has been on the ground.
Billy McKinney is 1 for 3. He had a single in the 6th inning. It was erased on a double play. Struck out the first 2 times, once against Stanek, once against Chirinos. Boy, Chirinos has worked very quickly all night long, not messing around.
He had to make that adjustment in that first inning of work when he walked back-to-back batters and then gave up the hit. Now the adjustment has worked.
Sharply hit. Bowers will flip to Chirinos. Another quick inning as McKinney's retired. This inning took Chirinos just 9 pitches. We'll go to the 9th. It's all Tampa Bay. Mark Leiter Jr. making his Blue Jays debut. Blue Jays played all 9 positions, including pitcher.
How about that? In the first inning, he caught that he went to first, second, short, third, left pitch, back to left field, center field, and then finish it up in right field. We saw Nash Knight in spring training. They got him up in a couple of those games, late in spring training when you go over to minor leagues and call some of the guys up who aren't on the 40-man roster. He went out there to play. He's a scrappy little player. So congratulations to him. They also had the batting champs on that Dunedin team. I say batting champs because they were tied with a 304 average to finish it off. This is Mark Leiter making his Blue Jays debut. He's pitched parts of the last 2 seasons in the big leagues with the Phillies, just picked up by the Blue Jays recently.
The 2 batting champs you referred to, Ivan Castillo and Rodrigo Orozco, both hit 304 for the Dunedin Blue Jays. Mark Leiter Jr., we mentioned he's the nephew of Al Leiter, who pitched here with the Blue Jays, making his Blue Jays debut. Mark's dad, Mark Sr., also pitched in the big leagues. Mark has pitched parts of the last 2 seasons with the Phillies. This is his first appearance as a Blue Jay.
Blue Jays just claimed him off waivers from the Phillies a couple of days ago. The roster's expanded, so they wanted to get some more arms down in that bullpen for these types of games right here.
Most pitchers used in franchise history. Leiter becomes the 35th pitcher used by the Blue Jays. That's an all-time high. Last year they had 37. In 2012, 34. This is the 35th pitcher the Blue Jays have used this season.
That tells the story, doesn't it? It tells a lot. You saw 2017 on that list, 3rd, where they used 33 pitchers. Now 35.
Injuries playing a factor in that. Of course, performance also contributing to that.
And trades. I mean, the Blue Jays have traded away some of the pitchers. John Axford, Jay Happ have all been traded away after they were deemed out of it.
Strike 3 call. Malik Smith didn't like the call, but it looked like it caught the inside corner. So Mark Leiter Jr. has a strikeout as a Blue Jay. 3rd time Smith has been out on strikes tonight.
And away, set up on the outside corner. He crosses him up, throws that 2-seamer right back over the plate. Luke reaches for it, but look at the umpire. He's sitting right where the ball came in. That's a strike all the way.
This is Andrew Velasquez pinch hitting for Matt Duffy. Velasquez made his big league debut yesterday in Cleveland.
He is known for his versatility in his athleticism.
He's a switch hitter that can play the outfield, play in the infield.
They wanted to bring him up here because of his versatility and his ability to swing from both sides of the plate.
Came in as a defensive replacement in center field in the bottom of the 8th inning. Now this is his first big league at bat. Swings right through it. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Started in Double-A this year, then finished up his regular season in Triple-A. Now here he is in the big leagues. He had 32 stolen bases in the minor leagues this year.
Off the plate, it's a full count.
Kevin Cash was talking about his versatility being the key in their decision to bring him up here for the month of September to take a look at him.
They got him from the D-backs in a trade that sent Jeremy Hellickson out to Arizona. That was way back in November of 2014. In that 2014 season, he reached base in 74 consecutive games, breaking the minor league record according to MILB. Full count, 1 out. Mark Leiter Jr. in his first inning as a Blue Jay. Leiter Jr. is 27 years old. This is his second season in the big leagues. He appeared in 12 games with Philadelphia this year. It's a high fly ball. McKinney over near the foul line. He gets there and makes the catch. Drive of the game brought to you by the 2018 Honda Odyssey, available with Honda Vac. It always bats cleanup.
The Tampa Bay Rays came into this game second last in the American League in home runs. Only the Detroit Tigers have hit fewer home runs, but Ji-Man Choi is going to get a hold of this one and hit it 419 feet. That is the last time that they have scored a run. Ji-Man Choi's long home run, tonight's drive of the game. He homered his last at bat. That was in the 7th inning. Yeah, they don't hit a lot of home runs, but they have tough at bats, scrappy at bats.
Yeah, they have been able to utilize their speed. They have gone first to third on occasions tonight. They've hit some doubles. They've hit some triples.
Choi has had 4 home runs since he's joined the Rays, and all 4 of them have been solo home runs. That's Jamie Schultz loosening up.
Breaking ball popped in foul ground. Russell Martin, long run. Luke Maley, the catcher, will make the play. Nice effort by Luke Maley to record the final out of the top half of the 9th inning. Good job by Maley, going a long way to catch that pop-up. Mark Leiter, a clean inning of work in his first as a Blue Jay. Gets a lot of help from Luke Maley, who slides to make the inning-ending catch. Gurriel, Smoke, and Pilar will bat when we come back for the bottom of the 9th.
Sportsnet. Presented by Honda at the Model Clearout event. The real victory lap is the drive home.
Bottom of the 9th inning, the Rays have a 7-1 lead. They've out-hit the Blue Jays 11-4. New pitcher is Jamie Schultz, making his 13th appearance of the season. He takes over for Yoni Chirinos.
Yeah, Jamie Schultz was a starter down in the minor leagues. He's been in the big leagues on and off this season. He's been pushed into the bullpen, so he's got all 4 of the pitchers that you need from a starter. So he will take over, and a couple of other changes.
Joey Wendell moves from shortstop to third base as the pinch hitter Andrew Velasquez takes over defensively at short. Gurriel hits a high fly ball to right field. Alex Smith backing up. He makes the catch. 1 away. Now for a preview of what's coming up on Sportsnet Central, here's Ken Reed and Ivanka Osmak. Can't wait to hear about that one, Ken. Coming up right after this game, so make sure you stay tuned. Dustin Smoke with that home run streak in jeopardy. He has homered in 4 straight games. He is 0 for 3 to this point.
He's had a couple of fastballs to hit tonight. He's just missed them. That was another one on the inside part of the plate that time.
Knocked down by the pitcher. Look at this play. What a terrific play by Velasquez, just into the ball game. He was playing in the shift. Looked like the pitcher Schultz got a piece of it with his glove. And what an athletic play by Velasquez.
I am spellbound. We have seen some great defensive plays. He is in the shift. It ricochets off the pitcher. He cuts in front of the shortstop and throws across his body to get the out. Velasquez can play all over the place. That's his natural position. What a play.
A terrific play just into the ball game. And we told you that that's why they called him up. He's versatile. He can play all over the field, and he is a gifted defender for sure. Look out.
Chow.
Oh, got away from Schultz. A slider up and in. Well, the fans are reacting, but Kevin Pillar's not. He understands it was a slider, just slipped out of the pitcher's hand. Kevin is 1 for 3. He has one of the 4 Blue Jay hits. Nick Schufo, the catcher, in his first big league game has been quite comfortable back there. He has done a nice job catching in his first big league game. That's his strength as Pillar draws the walk. 2-out walk here in the 9th.
Blue Jays just have not been able to muster anything really all season long against Tampa Bay pitching. They're only averaging about a run and a half a game against them now in 10 games, where they get the matchups they want. And tonight, I think it was Chirinos. He was the star of this game.
Ground ball on the first pitch. Velasquez throws out Diaz. And that's the ball game. Tampa Bay improves to 8-2 against the Blue Jays. They win the opener. Ji-Man Choi with the home run. But the offense up and down the order with a good balanced attack tonight for the Rays.
11 hits and 7 runs against the Blue Jays. Kevin Kiermaier had a big game today. He had a single, double, and triple. Joey Wendell, offensively and defensively, he was outstanding. Matt Duffy got it all started for them as they take the first game in this 3-game series.
We'll be right back here tomorrow night for Game 2 of this series against Tampa Bay. Thanks for watching, folks. Have a great Labor Day evening. Stay tuned. Here's Sportsnet Central. Ken Reed and Ivanka Osmak.